puff puff as she did. But I said, you can't take the drug test now. Marijuana stays in your system for a little while. And I couldn't fathom in my mind that my daughter would take the marijuana stick and try it. So I didn't think to caution her to this because I didn't want to try it. When my friend said, hey, we finna go smoke, you want to go? I said, no. And I'm not going to say her name. Should I say her name? Glennis Coy. Glennis, what's your last name? McCoy. McCoy. I said no, and I kept bouncing my basketball, and I walked on up to Fair Oaks. She jumped in the car with the people that she was hanging out with, and they drove off. So I was thinking my children are probably like me, late bloomers, L7s, no desire to do, little sneaky things, tell the truth. But it turns out that my children are their own personal people. And, so she did that, and now she can't take the drug test. So she never started that job. And it didn't dawn on me when children in our family turn 18, they try to sacrifice you early. For me, they sent in men. I got pregnant, and I had a baby on my 18th birthday. And I didn't take my athletic scholarships. I had 2 offers for full athletic scholarships. So that's how they sacrificed me, to stay close to the family coven so that they could siphon my energy and continue to keep me at a low position. For my children, it was, for Aset, it was that. Well, before that, they had her in some school, Pepin Academy, like she was not a smart, intelligent person. And the blessing of the COVID, it caused us to have to do homework together. And I taught her little techniques on how to be a good student. Because when I was in school, I would always take those little prep classes. And the one that really helped me out was the Blackstone LSAT prep course. It teaches you how to decode these games. And Mimi, and the lady that owns it, I can't remember her name. Mimi was a little more theatrical when she explained, you got 12 books on a shelf. The green book can't be next to the red book. The blue book has to be 5 positions from the black book. The black book is first. So you have little techniques that give you the placements, and you have to do it pretty quickly. And I think I scored like a 140 on the LSAT, maybe a 144, I can't remember, but I wanted a 160. So I didn't go to the law schools that I could have gone to at first because I didn't want to pay $100,000, $200,000 for law school debt. And I'm going to law school, but I'm still not going to do that. I'm not going to pay that kind of debt, not unless, I have the money now. I got to figure out how to get my money. And God said, you don't even got to figure that out. We done worked that out. There's a lot of people going to prison for stealing my inheritances. I think my brother's living under another name. I think cousin Toy Andrea Smith, who lives in my grandmother's house, Irene P. Scarborough, at 2913 East 20th Avenue in Tampa, Florida, 33605. I think she's living under a different name. I think Ava Atkins, my other sister, is living under a different name because they've stolen my inheritances, and I think they're all involved in insurance Ponzi scams where they say people are dead and collect insurance policies on them when they're really alive. So I think I might be legally dead, and this is the problem that I'm having in getting work. They went to all of the little low-level, bottom-level agencies that I used to work with, Liberty Staffing. Tom and Sharon told me I'm on a do not return list for Emily Oil. And I'm like, there's no way I'm on the do not return list. How? What did I do? People Ready, that really, really fat guy that sits at the desk, Theodore, what is his name? On the Columbus Avenue, People Ready, him, and in the afternoon, it's him, the heavyset black guy. He ain't heavyset, I think he's obese. And the white lady with the, she sometimes dyes it, but it's like gray and dye. they both told me I was on a do not return list. And so I reached out to the upper management at Amalie Oil. I didn't get a response, or the hackers that cloned my phone, they took over that. And God said that somebody was working under my name. I believed it to be Letitia Karima Penn. I can't prove that, so that's just an allegation, right? And then there was a Butch girl that worked for Liberty Staffing, and then I think it was Erica. She has really messed up dental work. Not just that it's missing, but like it's not brushed, and there's like big clumps of like plaque in the places where teeth would be. So it's not just, you don't have teeth, because even though I don't have teeth, I still brush my gums. I still gargle with mouthwash. Occasionally I will use that floss. My teeth were very, very tight, and when I forced the floss in there, it seemed like it created more dental problems. So if you have really, really tight teeth, I don't think you should use floss. I'm not a dentist, okay? I'm just telling you from a person who had really tight teeth. I think it damaged my teeth for me to believe the commercials and floss my teeth. So one of them were working as Aileen Dorothea Atkins. I got kicked out of the industry when I started working with Skilled Resource on Fletcher. They sent me to work in the elevators at Moffett when they were building that new Moffett that just came up on, 40th Street? And I was working in the elevator. For some reason, I only worked there a day. And when I came back from lunch, 30-minute little break, there was a Roxanne water bottle, and that was like, you know how they say when the killer kills somebody, they keeps a souvenir from the person. Well, whoever was coming around and killing my job assignments, they would leave the little Roxanne water bottle. So I believed it to be my brother. It could have been Abraham Vada Jones. And I get that from listening to Tarot. My brother and a couple of exes and my sisters and people who I guess didn't like me or felt like I was too high and mighty, high on the horse. They wanted to knock me down a couple of pegs. So let's steal her inheritances. Let's conceal her inheritances. Donnie Dwayne Flowers is another one. I'd talk to him about my assignments, and then another person would come, and then I would be out. Now, this has taken me years of looking at this pattern to figure out I have become a personnel head hunter. I find the jobs, and then the people that I'm stupid enough to tell where I work, they find somebody within their little clique to come and take my job. I guess they call the personnel company and say, hey, we'll give you a trip. We got these credit cards. We'll give you gift cards. We'll pay for you to go on a, weekend vacation if you let her go. We got somebody else to put in her position. And then whoever they help get the job, they give that person gives them $50 or $100 a week out of their paycheck. Okay? So it all measures out to be me ain't got a job, right? And I'm so-called blacklisted from working at Amalie Oil. So I reported this. I've reported a lot to the Department of Labor. But then I started calling the Department of Labor, and they would hang up. They wouldn't pick up. I could no longer leave a message. So I contacted Department of Labor in Washington, D.C. And then I didn't get a response back from them. So God said, contact this person, this person, this person, which I'm not going to say, because they go behind me and they either pretend to be me or they bribe the people to not give me justice. So God said, don't worry about none of it, because I'm going to work it all out. And God is working it all out. So this morning when I got up, they done pulled open my tarp from around the gate. So I'll put it back up and wrap it back around and maybe use a couple of stakes from my tent to keep it down. Whoever wanted to walk through the side yard, they've been walking in and out the yard, and they go through the back and walk through the back houses. Like, this is 3107. They walk in off the street like they're coming here, right? Maybe they're trying to make somebody think that they come here and visit, but the front door is blocked off. The side door is blocked off. So the people that I told could come here to bring me a gift card, I said, pull up to the mailbox, honk, and give me a few minutes and I'll come out. So nobody's done that. So we ain't received no gift cards. So anybody that bought gift cards, whoever you gave it to, didn't give it to me. If you sent me Cash App, they say they ain't receiving the Cash App. So nobody has given me any Cash App. My son, when Jason Olsen sent money after I went to Cousin Toy's house and she sent Ava a copy of a request, a handwritten request. I said, I need $500 ASAP because they're getting checks in my children's names, I'm alleging, and getting checks in my names, I'm alleging. So I went to Donnie's house at 1316 East 15th Avenue, right across from the Academy Prep there in Ybor City, 1 block from Columbus Drive. And I left a note at that house. Now, I don't know if he's there because I ain't been there in years. And when I see him, I do not approach the vehicle. The last time I thought I saw him, my daughter and I was sitting at the bus stop waiting to come back from the gym. Bus 15. It was 10 o'clock at night. He pulled up in a bright blue. So that must have been him. I said he pulled up in a bright blue Jeep. But he looks a lot older. He has like that little dangling thing under the chin, kind of like turkey. So he must be eating good. And he looked, a lot fatter. So, and the person said something, speaking real low. Maybe he said, do you need something? I couldn't understand. But that was stupid in itself. Anybody standing on a bus bench, most of the time they need something.